Throughout Eldian history, wars and battles were waged within the walls in varying ways. One such war was the 2-year Royal War. Archduke Raegid Vallon waged war on the royals and military in order to rightfully take over the throne. The Northern District had waged war under the banner of the Coalition. Battling against the military's might and equaling odds, its belief of true freedom and free from the reign of the unjust ruler continued to go against the military. During this war began the appearance of powerful foes who challenged its enemy in overwhelming odds. A woman by the name of Milith Sakurajima would appear onto the field and fight against the Coalition and Archduke Raegid, donning the name the Silver Reaper from their accomplishments on the field. King Shamblavion would also appear onto the field, fighting against the Coalition in protection of his royal throne. Despite this, the battle was seeming in the Coalition's favor as the Coalition arrived to Mitras. The Church of the Wall stepped in to assist the royals in their defense, pushing back and ultimately ending the war against them. The Church of the Walls would save the royal throne and be in debt with the royal family ever since. Due to the success and valor displayed on the battle, Milith Sakurajima would gain the title of Commander-in-Chief over the Eldian military, leading a new era of combat. After the war would end, the Church of the Walls would continue to rise in power, launching their churches in areas all across the walls, including Shiganshina. It would be until the day of its opening in the year 700 that calamity befell the walls. In the air, a large machine flew over the walls and began to release lights in the sky as titans fell. A cannon would be shot at the church amidst the chaos, setting it ablaze. As titans marched through the streets, the wreckage they caused would break the outer gate of Shiganshina. In all of that calamity, the king would be seen in the chaos by the river, holding a strange necklace and rushing away from the district. Days after the outer gate fell, the king would suddenly erupt into a rage. As the military members chased him down, the king would tackle a civilian and eat them in front of them all. Horrified, the military would attempt to take action against it, only to find their adrenaline and rage would be pushing the king into a bloodthirsty anger. The king would rush towards Shiganshina and disappear from the military as tracks of their disappearance become the least of their concerns. As the military stationed themselves at the inner gate, a civilian straggler would be seen at the destroyed Shiganshina, erupting into the lightning and forming into a titan behemoth. One donned in all armor, it would attempt to try and seal the district despite no military member knowing this was. The attempt failed as the armored's plans proved useless. The military stationed at the walls along with Milith Sakurajima would attempt to question the civilian, but would divulge into a war amongst themselves. The question arose, what to do with this, as the CIC would be detained by the military police commander, and the king would appear following this news, taking the weakened civilian titan and rushing away with them. As the commander-in-chief is called by the king, information will be spelled after their encounter of the meeting place with the newly released Crystal Caves, a place hidden by the royals ever since their place within the walls. No information will be spread of what took place between this meeting, but decisions were made to seal this district without the armored titan. The military would seal the district with ease, but an unknowing substance would be found at the base of the gates, a small mushroom. The crown prince would see this and eat this mushroom in curiosity, only to erupt into further chaos and fear. The king, the military, would all try to calm the prince down, but the substance had continued to rot within him into ruin. A shot would be fired by the military after the prince would yell for Milith. After returning from the sealing of Shiganshina, what was thought to be a welcome return in a speech shows the civilians huddled outside the district of Trost, horrified of whatever was inside. The military, unbeknownst to them, gave their speech without entering the district, only to hear the scream of terror as more civilians witnessed as what was inside. The military would arrive to see a titan's corpse, reaching out of the Trost HQ and attempting to grab onto a home, its body almost in half with no muscle except for its arm. Despite not moving, nobody knew what to make until witnesses continued to speak to a military member about a military member in a cloak erupting from its steam, rushing off. 2 hours later, a letter would appear to the Trost HQ, covered in a mix of blood and vomit.
It contained the content of a fearful rambling, apologizing for the Titan erupting from the HQ. What was thought to be nonsense revealed the truth as pieces began to align. A military member, recently shot, would be admitted to the Trost HQ medbay, the same area where the Titan would erupt from. Nobody would be admitted other than Shane Carlist, a military member shot during a hostage situation. As military officials began to fear the worst, the Commander-in-Chief would be seen in the park of Trost, sitting with the missing Shane Carlist. Some military members would address the idea of going after the military member, but no sightings would be reported after. After the talks of the Coalition's arise continued, and the idea of their involvement in the Shiganshina Church's destruction, talks began of a secret of an alliance. An address would be made days later that the long-lasting enemy of the Coalition has been resolved. So everything diverges to where we begin once again, the time of change.